Welcome to Jhoira's Junkyard. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, I like it a lot. We've got Gamble, Great Furnace for track. Yes, we'll keep on this one in a heartbeat. And Wheel of Fortune to get some really good stuff moving. So, let's see. What turn one play? Let's just go and lead off with Sulphur Falls. Well, I mean, I guess technically we could go for Gamble if we wanted to. Yeah, let's go and go for Great Furnace. Let's go and go for Gamble. If we end up losing Retract or something like that, it's not the end of the world. Let's go and grab Mox. Probably grab one of the Mox off this one. What sounds good? Amber. Yeah, I'll go and grab Mox Amber. See if that's... Oh, we lost Retract. That's a bummer. That was a risk we had to take. Anyway, we're going to go and pass the turn. If we had more artifacts, I probably wouldn't have gone for that gamble. Since we only had one, really, not a whole lot of options in the hand, I didn't mind making that trade-off with that Amber. And then our opponent said something in the chat. Hey, awesome. Okay, let's see. See what we draw into. Draw into Gilded Lotus. So let's go and get down Sulphur Falls. I think, yeah, that sounds good. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. We're playing Jhoira, Weatherlight Captain. Whenever you cast a historic spell, draw a card, then artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are historic. So that's kind of something new they put out in Dominaria if you're getting back into Magic, or maybe you came across a Dominaria, something, and you just kind of want to see what's going on. That's historic spells are now a thing. We're playing its Kess, Dissident Mage. Flying. During each of your turns, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your graveyard. If a card casts this way, it would be put into your graveyard. Exile it instead. All right, drawn to Ignite Memories. Let's go and get down Island. Let's see, anything else? We could technically go for Wheel of Fortune. That's going to be completely undoing exactly what we just did, and that might actually help our opponent out just a little bit more. But do we want to risk that for... Yeah, because we hold on to it. Yeah, we'll go and go for Wheel of Fortune. I'm sorry, I played a little loose to start this off, but hey, it's a junkyard. It is what it is. I feel like Wheel of Fortune is gonna give us the better option going forward, getting a fresh grip. Now that does put our opponent on having at least a little bit better graveyard to start fueling with Kess, but the main part is we want to at least keep making our land drops. All right, anything else? We could go for Midnight, Mox Opal. Yeah, let's do it. Let's just go and pass the turn at this point right now. Maybe we run into another land that doesn't come into play untapped. Does not come into play tapped. And then we get down Jhoira and start chaining together some of these spells. Typically, if you are playing an egg-based storm deck like this, and if you hear me say egg, basically it just means that it has a converted mana cost 0. So if you're playing an egg storm like this, or at least eggs Jhoira, you definitely want to get her down before you start casting some of these out there. There may be some scenarios to where we need to get down Mox Opal to turn that online to give us some additional mana. But at this point right now, we're going to save it until we get down Jhoira. If that means that we have to go for, Tolaria West tap, we'll definitely... Oh, Volcanic Island. Yes, exactly what we needed. All right, let's go to Volcanic Island down. Let's go and go for Jhoira. And we did have to wheel out Ignite Memories. That's a really fun storm card to go for, but sometimes it just... you can still win with goblins or something else like that. Let's go and go for Spellbook. We're going to draw an additional card off of that one. All right, here comes the fun city. I was going to get down Midnight, draw an additional card, draw the mountain. Okay, let's go for Mox Opal. Draw an additional card, draw into Diligent Excavator, and then let's go and do this. Let's simply just go and pass the turn. We want to save Elixir for our Elixir of Immortality for next turn, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We could get it down with Mox Opal, but I want to get down Diligent Excavator and then kind of go from there. This is one of those cards that I've put in the deck, and I've been playing probably about my 6th or 7th game, and I haven't had a chance to play with Diligent, so definitely want to get her down and see if we can't start milling out some of our opponent. Especially if our opponent is milling their library out, it also makes for a really fun game if we can kind of push past it. Now, it may give them a good, as you can see, we've already got Kolaghan's Command in the graveyard, but it's something we can watch out for. All right, so I'm going to send Jhoira back to the command zone. Our opponent did go for Toxic Deluge. And let's see what we got going on. Drawn to Command Tower. Let's do some setting up this turn. Let's go and get down Spire Bluff Canal. It's going to come into the battlefield tap. That way we have a better shot at Jhoira next turn. Let's go for Diligent Excavator. And let's go and go for Riddlesmith. Okay, anything else, we're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. Now, they did get a reset off Toxic Deluge, and if they recast Kess next turn, or at least cast Kess, excuse me, that will put them in a spot to where they can definitely recast Toxic Deluge to kind of clean up the board state. But that's something we have to watch out for. But when you get one of these two creatures down, if we're not playing against a graveyard-based deck like Kess, typically having at least Riddlesmith on the battlefield really helps smooth out your Jhoira draws. When you're going to cast stuff like Spellbook, Mox Opal, being able to turn those spells into extra card draw, or just simply drawing an additional card off the artifact entering the battlefield is typically enough to kind of help you get into that storm spot most of the time. All right, opponent's simply just going to pass the turn with a bunch of open mana. I don't think we really want to go for Jhoira at this point right now. Let's go and get down Cascade Bluffs. And I don't think we really want to push in on this one. Let's just kind of test the waters. Let's go for Tezzeret. See if that's good. The way our opponent's kind of holding up, it's got me a little concerned that we're just walking into a counter spell. And I don't mind losing Tezzeret on this one just to kind of burn a counter spell. All right, we're going to get the Diligent Excavator trigger. Since Tezzeret is a legendary planeswalker, that will count towards that that activated ability, not activated, excuse me, the triggered ability of them milling some cards. So let's see if this is going to draw out a counter spell. All right, opponent's going to go for Mystic Confluence, counter target spell, and let's say pay 3 and then draw a card, draw a card. Yeah, that's going to get it. All right, not going to pay for that one. Nope, we have 1 mana left up, and then anything else, we're going to go and swing in for 3. Put our opponent down to 17. All right. Now, they are in this, our opponent is in sort of a weird holding pattern. You know, maybe they have enough good stuff in the hand. We do have to watch out for Vandal Blast. That would definitely not be good for us. But luckily, Vandal Blast is a sorcery speed. And, you know, if they're going to blow up everything on their turn, you know, odds are we didn't have an opportunity to kind of storm off from there. Inquisition of Kozilek on Elixir of Mortality. Yeah, that's fine. They're going to be able to take care of that. But outside of that, you know, they get in this weird holding pattern where they have to get Kess down. And that's going to be 4 mana. It's going to leave them only 1 mana open. Now, they can go for something like Thought Scour or Serum Visions, Thought Seize, but that's just having 3 lands in the hand. And Tolaria West just simply being an activated ability next turn. We can maybe tap out for that and get down one of our artifact pieces and kind of go from there. I'll see what they're going to be tapping out for. Opponent's getting down Kess, okay. And like I said, you know, if they want to crack that Wooded Foothills, they certainly can. That's going to leave them going for one of their 1 mana cantrips. Now, we did see Mental Misstep coming out of the graveyard, convert counter target spell with converted mana cost 1. So, but luckily we're not casting anything at this point right now. But at least it's good to kind of remember that. That's in the graveyard. All right, they did put Steam Vents into play tapped, and they're going to be completely shields down. All right. So we draw into Ornithopter. Let's do this. Let's get down to Command Tower. Let's go for Jhoira. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Target player is going to put the top 2 cards of the library into the graveyard of that Diligent Excavator trigger. Let's get down Jhoira. Let's go and go for Ornithopter. That's going to get an additional trigger. We're going to go for the Diligent trigger up top and then draw a card off Jhoira. Hurkyl's Recall. Okay. Yes, we're going to use that ability. Draw into Fell or Stone. Let's go and get rid of Mountain at this point right now. Ornithopter enters the battlefield. Now, if we end up going for Hurkyl's Recall, we have the mana for it. Actually, I don't mind going for that. We can still chain a few more stuff together. We're going to choose us. Return all artifacts back to our hand. That's going to be Mox Opal, Ornithopter, and Spellbook. There we go. Let's go and cast Ornithopter. Get the Riddlesmith trigger, a Diligent. Now, this is something that either, you know, probably not going to mill our opponent out, but who knows, depending on how the card draw goes. Yes, we're going to draw an additional card. There we go. Let's go and discard, at this point, Great Furnace. Get on Ornithopter. Let's go and go for Spellbook. We might be able to mill them out. Just depends on if we get lucky or not. But definitely having an additional Riddlesmith out there is helping us kind of filter our card draws. Makes a huge difference. Yes, we're going to use that ability. And we'll go ahead and get rid of Desolate Lighthouse. You can see where it's just going to allow us to keep chaining some of these spells together. Let's go ahead and go for Jeweled Amulet. Okay, so we cycle through all that. We end up with Paradoxical Outcome and Empty the Warrens in the hand. Unfortunately, with Diligent Excavator out there, we've got a lot of cards out there for our opponents to kind of work into next turn. So we'll see if we're going to be able to kind of do anything about that. Anything else that we want to go for? No, we're going to go and pass the turn at this point. Let's say something does happen to Jhoira, or they go for something like Toxic Deluge. It would be a perfectly fine play to go for Toxic Deluge and completely wipe our board. And we still have Paradoxical Outcome. So what we can do is we are still looking at least, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're looking at a storm for about 5, bouncing a bunch of these artifacts back to the hand. We can recast some more stuff. So we're not completely dead to just completely a board wipe. In fact, you know, if our opponent ends up going for a board wipe, that would actually be a little bit better for us, kind of depending on what they're going for. But I don't think we ran into... Alright, deals X damage to each creature with flying, X or more, destroy all, is 4 more destroy. Okay, that's going to be brutal. Yeah, let's going to get it on that one. It's going to take care of all of our artifacts. Alright, everything gets sent into back into the graveyard. Like I said, we still got Empty the Warren, so this is not over just yet. Opponent's going to go to him to Turok. All right, let's see what we got going on. That takes care of takes care of our Storm spell on that one. Yeah, I guess getting down Diligent Excavator wasn't the best, but it was one of those things where, listen, I've gone to about 6 or 7 games playing Jhoira, and I have not been able to get down Diligent Excavator. I really wanted to. But playing against a graveyard-based Grixis value deck is probably not the best opportunity to get it down, but hey, Magic's about having fun sometimes. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and go for, we go Transmute on Teleria West, get down another 0 artifact. We might be able to Paradoxal Outcome into something next turn. I think that sounds good. Let's go and go for Teleria West. Let's go and Transmute. Or if we wanted to, we can simply just make the land drop. Jhoira's going to be how much? 8 total mana. We're a little bit far away from that. Let's go and get down Teleria West, put that into play. Let's go and go for Shield Sphere. Yeah, we'll go and cast that. And we're going to get down Ensnaring Bridge. Now, that's going to force them to use basically Braid out of their graveyard if they want to use Ensnaring Bridge, if they want to take care of it. And that still puts us on at least something with Supreme Will if we end up going for that. All right, get down the Ensnaring Bridge, and then anything else, we're going to go pass turn to our opponent. But yeah, mainly, you know, I've gotten a couple of the Jhoira videos recorded. But you can see where if we had one of those turns to where we had a few more creatures down and we were able to dig a little bit deeper, Diligent Excavator, something you just simply get down for 2 mana, and you're playing a Storm-style deck like this, really allows you to kind of push past your opponent. Alright, they're going to go for a Braid on this one. Yeah, we're going to let that go through. Take care of Ensnaring Bridge. We kind of force them to use something out of the graveyard. We'll see what else they've got in the hand. We're at least going to be able to go for Supreme Will, digging a little bit deeper. And then, you know, let's say they get something on the back end, we can at least counter it if we want to end up going for that. Okay, opponent's going to pass turn. Let's go and go for Supreme Will. It's going to be blue, blue, blue. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one in your hand and what's on the bottom. Draw into Grape Shot. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, I think on this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's grab a land. That's going to put us online for Jhoira next turn. It'd be nice to have Grape Shot, but at least we'll be able to shuffle it up, right? Put those on the bottom in any order. You know, if we had a few more artifacts or something on the battlefield, I would be tempted to keep Grape Shot, but it's not really going to do much on this one. It's going to get down Wooded Foothills. Yeah, and if we just completely tap out with Jhoira, they're going to be able to go for that. We can go for Weir of Invention and get down something like Lightning Greaves. Yeah, let's try something like that. Let's just go and pass the turn. We're not dead to Kess swing in for 3/4. It's not the end of the world. We can do a little bit of setting up. We can Weird Invention for 2. Let's say they tap out for a value spell or something like that. We kind of stop that from coming across and getting on that Lightning Greaves and put it onto Jhoira. Now that does leave us at, you know, Subterranean Terrors. They can go for that to deal that damage to without flying. Yeah, they're at least going to be able to get past it. Oh. I accidentally hit OK on that one. I meant to cast Weir of Invention in response to that. So let's go to Crack Wooded Foothills. Yeah, we could have cast Weir to get any sort of artifact on the battlefield. But once again, like I said, Lightning Greaves would not have protected us from Subterranean Terror next turn. So pretty much all we did was just turn our opponent's graveyard on. But I'm probably still going to post this up in some form or fashion. All right, we got Kess swinging in for 3. It's going to put us down to 20. Let's see what we draw into. Yeah, that him to Turok, I just accidentally double-clicked OK on that one to click OK, because we could have at least bounced Shield Sphere back to the hand and Weird for something that would have been just a little bit better. It's going to get Jhoira down. It's going to be blue, red. We're going to get down Herbal. But this, yeah, you know, this deck's a lot of fun, but this is all-in combo on this one. You know, as you can tell, you know, if you're playing against anything that's just got a, you know, a very control-style element to it, it's definitely going to struggle against a deck like this. So I like to kind of show all aspects of a deck, even though it may not be the best in the world. Opponent's going to go for Here's Downfall. Okay, very nice play. We're going to draw. At least we still get that card draw trigger. Drawn to Tormod's Crypt, okay. But you can see where, you know, simply casting Herbal down will allow us to get into Tormod's Crypt. Let's go and get that down. That's at least going to kind of stop this graveyard bleeding out from our opponent. Let's go and cast that. That's actually a pretty good draw off Herbal. And like I said, we're not dead to a 3/4 yet. You know, it was looking pretty grim for a second, but now that we can exile most of that graveyard. Now, if they have a counterspell, they can counter it. But if they don't, then we'll be able to get it down. But it looks like Memory Lapse. Okay. I think it's going to go on top of the library. All right, it'll be on top, so we'll draw into that next turn. We can at least kind of get rid of the graveyard. That'll put them on at least getting something going out of the graveyard. We have no cards in the hand, so something like, you know, Thoughtseize is not going to do them any good. So we'll at least be drawing into that next turn. We can kind of stop our opponent from hopefully getting something really, really good out of that graveyard going. All right, we'll be swinging it for a 3/4, put us down to 17. But yeah, like I said, you know, my other 2 videos, we have some really good Storm stuff going, but this is a very accurate representation of what happens sometimes when you run into like a Grixis value deck or Grixis control deck. So at least want to keep that option out there for the people out there that are thinking about building this deck, or you can see it from the other side. So we're going to go and cast Tormod's Crypt. See, this is good. But like I said, the way our opponent set the turn up, hard cast Force of Will. That's fine. All right. The commander pop back up. It's going to be 10 total mana. Let's do this. Let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent, and then we'll go and go from there. Opponent's going to go for Intuition. Search your library for 3 cards, reveal them. We get to put one, the other go into your graveyard. Now, cards like Intuition work really well in Kess. I mean, it's almost like a Realms Uncharted in Gitrog. You know, pretty much it just reads 3 mana, grab whatever 3 or 4 cards that you want. It makes for a really nice gameplay experience for different things like that. And that's what makes Commander, at least to me, a lot of fun, is that you can, you know, stuff like Intuition works so well in a deck like this. Liliana, choose the card to be put into their hand. They're going to be able to cast an instant or sorcery out of the graveyard. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and put, I guess, Liliana in the hand. Yeah, I'm fine with that. We're going to put Liliana in the hand. That's going to put Obnixilis and Nicol Bolas into the graveyard. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. Then, the fact that Intuition goes back into the graveyard to where you can recast it with Kess to keep putting more stuff in there. It's a lot of fun. I just really enjoy Intuition as a card because depends on how you set it up. But you can make sure that you sculpt a really nice graveyard for Kess that you can start pushing in on that one. All right, Opponent's going to go for Liliana the Veil activation. Each player discards a card. We have no cards in the hand to discard, so they're going to be getting rid of a card. They got rid of Duress. Opponent's going to be swinging for 3. It's going to put us down to 14. And we are sitting at 15 sitting at 15 total commander damage. Look at that. Windfall. Yeah, let's give it a shot. See if this is good. Test the waters on this one. Maybe our opponent wants a good Windfall. I'm not sure exactly what we can chain into. They are sitting at 10. We don't have a ton of burn spells, but it's better than nothing at this point right now. Pact of Negation, okay. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over there. So that'll put us at 18. Yeah. And this is what makes Commander fun, too. I know I keep saying that, but there's a lot of things to enjoy about Commanders that, you know, you can just very slowly lose to a 7-turn swing from Kess. And that'll be enough commander damage on that one. Opponent's going to be tapping up 5 total mana for that Pact of Negation. They did have whatever the Amonkhet version of that. I can't remember what they're called. What they called them anyway. Got the promo version of it. All right, opponent's going to be swinging for 3. It's going to be 18 total commander damage. Put us down to 11. And then we'll see what we're going for. But yeah, to get a Pact of Negation on the Windfall, I like that. All right, opponent's going to go for Ancestral Vision. And then let's see what we draw into. Draw into Welding Jar. All right, they're going to be able to swing in for commander damage. Good game. Definitely enjoyed it. But yeah, you can definitely see where, you know, if you're playing an all-in deck like Jhoira, Egg Storm, things like this are going to happen. Our opponent does have Kess swinging across next turn, and that's going to be 21 total commander damage. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.